Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm excited today to share another love story. I'm pleased to introduce you to Nan. Nan lives in North Dakota. Nan is 71. Nan is a widow, and she found her love. Nan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Of course. So now let's start at the beginning. What was your life like at this point, having lost your husband? What was going on for you?
I was in a very dark place. We were married for 48 years and worked together every day and didn't have enough sense to retire and enjoy life. So I just, October of last year, I was very lost. I felt like 50 years of my life never happened. I just missed the companionship, missed having someone to share my life with. You never think about what life would be like without your spouse. It isn't a reality until it happens. It was very stressful.
So do you remember some of the ahas that you had that made it possible for you to ultimately meet Dan?
I actually met him in the summer. I was helping a friend of mine get her house fixed up to ready to sell, and we were doing some construction on it, and we needed some siding. And he's a neighbor, and she contacted him and said, do you happen to have any siding that I need to put a couple sheets on? And he said, sure, I'll bring him over. And he came over, and then I didn't think much. I mean, of course, I talked to everybody, but I didn't think much about it. And then I didn't see him until November at his mother-in-law's memorial service, or funeral rather. And he came out to the kitchen. I was serving, and he came out to the kitchen and he said, could I get a cup of coffee for my sister-in-law? And I was like, I said, yeah, I can get one back here. And then I looked at him and I went, wow, you clean up nice, because he was in a three-piece suit, I mean, and I'd seen him in cutoffs and shorts, shorts and a tank top. Mm-hmm. And so then through that afternoon, we talked 2 or 3 different times. And then before he left, I said to him, stop out and see me sometime. And didn't think anything of it. And he arrived 4 nights later at my doorstep. I was just to the step in your program where I was ready to go out into the world and meet somebody. And the things that you had suggested, through your program, thinking about my previous relationship and what I would be looking for in someone in another relationship. And again, after 50 years, you weren't really thinking about, oh, well, how would I do this differently? Just different. But unbeknownst to me, Dan was asking me questions about things. We both talked about how we lost our spouses, the end, how things were right at the end and everything. And he just said that he had had time to kind of, in his mind, make a list of things that he would want differently, or be sure that this is included. He just had in his mind different things that if he was to get in a relationship with anybody, they had to meet these standards. Well, he called me the next night and he goes, wow, you really checked off my boxes. And I'm like, what? And what was funny is that's right where I was with you, making a list of what I was interested in. So he told me
what you needed now, right? What you
what I
needed,
need, yeah,
what you wanted to be different from the relationship with Bill, right?
Right. And it's just been it's been a really great year. We just realized we have an awful lot in common. And what's different for him with me is that I have always been there, done things with Bill. I worked with him. Everything we did, we farmed together. Everything we did, I was there with him, helping. And Dan was not used to having somebody else help him. And he's taught me a lot. We've done all kinds of canning this year. We each had a garden at our homes. We do not live in the same house. We both talked about right in the very beginning that we wanted to be married before we were living together. And I know that's a little old-fashioned for some people, but his also is out of respect for his parents. And it's just we've hit it off from the very beginning, and we laugh about, he came out here that night to just talk with me.
So now that you have a new love in your life, how do you feel?
He makes me very happy. We spend every night, we have supper together, and then on the weekends we're always doing things. And he's asked me several times, what would your life be like if you hadn't met me? And I said, very, very lonely.